Today, I got the chance to sit down with the new Amherst boys basketball coach, Jarrett Davidson. And I even have a chat with a senior that goes to Amherst High School, Katie Lecton, hearing about her expectations going into the season as a diehard fan. You're with Coach Davidson. Coach,
Good to see you.
thank you very much for letting me interview you and ask you some questions here today. You're taking over for Coach Jagalo, who did coach recently, just last year. I mean, overall, how excited are you for the season?
It's been a fun grind throughout the summer. First week of practice went well. Get more reps and get ready for our first week in games. It's been a lot of fun, but it's also been a grind.
I then continued to ask Katie about her and other students' anticipation going into the season.
There is a buzz around the school for the season. There isn't certain excitement for any certain outcome about what happens between now and March, but it's mainly overall positive. Obviously, we're not going to bash on the team in front of them, but there is some negative aspects of it. Obviously, the past couple years haven't been good for the team. We have had some really good teams, but it's just the coaching that has been sort of iffy. Thankfully, now this year we have Coach Davidson, which is really nice, but we're still early in the season, so time will tell.
For you personally, obviously last year you were part of the program, part of everything. What made you want to apply to be the head coach of the Falcons this year, the varsity team?
Yeah, well, I would take it back to growing up. My dad was a boys and girls coach in the UP. He coached a regional team up there in 2003. Just kind of carrying on his legacy. Always wanted to be a head coach, and just had to wait for the right time. I will say I appreciate everything Coach Phil had done for the program.
Katie has a good relationship with Jarrett Davidson, so I wanted to hear her overall feelings about him taking this position.
I'm very happy for him about this new role he is taking on. He has had many years of experience between schools in Wisconsin and Michigan, and he already has connections with the students from seeing them every day over the past few years of being a teacher at Amherst. He also grew up in a coaching family. His dad was the head boys and girls coach for a numerous amount of years up in the UP, so being able to see what he took from him and use it towards his own team is going to be really fun to see.
Is there anything that in particular, anything specific that you're looking most forward to kicking off the season and getting things rolling?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the Century Classic, right? The Century Classic is always a fun holiday event. Timing isn't always great for students, but it's great to be able to play in UWSP, get in a gym that's a little bit bigger than ours, and have some fun during that time.
Sure. How's the energy of practice? How did the scrimmage go over at Two Lakes?
It was, the practices, the kids have really brought the energy, right? I've never really felt like I've had to bring the energy out from them. They seem to bring it to practice every day, which is something not all teams have. We went up to Three Lakes. I think, I learned from Coach Spadoni here in the football program. Every week I'll ask him, how is this team? How is that team? Like, do you think you should beat them? And one of his sayings always to me is you should never underestimate your opponent. And in talking with Coach Gervey up there, he definitely undersold his team. So we did find out that we are not, in fact, the best team in the world, which is great. You need to have those moments as a team, and you need to be able to learn from those.
So let's take it back last year a little bit. Obviously, probably not the best season. We went 4-10 in the conference, second to last, 11-15 overall. So it was a little bit of a bumpy season. What's going to be the main focus for improvement from last year? Did you notice anything from the guys that you're really honing in on this year and that you want to make better as the team continues?
Yeah, we really need Parker to contribute a lot more than he did last year. He's going to have to be a focus for us. Sully will have to continue to score. Jack's really going to have to do his role in the post, and those other guys, Mike, Talon, Colton, those guys, Aiden Nerdahl, that didn't get a whole lot of time last year, really have big roles this year and big shoes to fill.
So you did mention some of those players that you got, like Sully Perkins, Jack Seeger, Mike Wadowski. Of course, you mentioned Parker Soulsby, how he's going to have a bigger role. What are the overall expectations for those leaders and those returning players? What do you anticipate them to bring to the table and show the younger class coming in?
Yeah, I mean, they just really have to be vocal leaders for us right now. and have that confidence and determination to have the will to score, to control the game when we need control in the game. All those little things that you can't teach skill wise, but you have to bring everywhere else to the game. Parker's one that will be a great leader for us this year. And he's just got to keep the confidence that he's had in practice to just keep scoring, right? There's times where he'll flip that, and we've just got to make sure, like, you are a scorer now. You're one of our main guys. We need you to contribute really well. I think Mike has really helped grow this summer and this year with football being the varsity, starting quarterback.
Yep.
He's going to really help out being a vocal leader as well.
So, last question. Obviously, we covered basically everything. Overall, what is the confidence level?
There's always, like, as a new coach, not new to coaching, but just new to being a head coach. There's just things that you don't know that you don't know.
Yes.
All the intangible stuff that you have to do that's outside of basketball. A lot of parents and players don't realize how much coaches put in outside of just coaching the game, coaching practices, getting in the gym, teaching them things. There's so many other things that go into being a coach that you don't really think about, but they're there as well.
I wanted to ask Katie if there was any main concerns going into Jarrett's first season as head coach.
For me, it would be the amount he has on his quote-unquote plate. Not only is he the varsity coach of the boys team, he's also a co-advisor of the Amherst chapter of FBLA. He works alongside the IT department, as well as he's trying to start an esports team here at Amherst this school year, on top of his normal teaching and family obligations. So I think that as long as he has something sorted out in the best way for him regarding his sort of time both in school and out of school, he is going to do fine.
Thank you for listening, Coach Jarrett Davidson.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Taking on new challenges is always tough, so I'm excited to see what Coach Davidson has in store for us this season.